Hello, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and today I'm here with a really exciting 12 by 12 layout. This is actually a photo of me on my 21st birthday with my new car that I didn't know I was getting. My parents surprised me. So that was pretty cool. So this is also a layout using my Scrapbook Roulette items. So I picked out 5 things for roulette this month. So the first thing I'm actually not using in this layout, and that is something you're hoarding because it's too pretty, and that's a piece of 12 by 12 paper with beautiful embossing and watercolor, and it didn't fit this layout, so at the moment still hoarding it. But I am using something from my recent haul, which is these stamps that I'm using now, which are from Stampin' Up. I am using something, one of the oldest things in my collection, which is my crepe paper open book paper pad, and I'm using my Big Shot, and I feel, oh, Project Life cards is something else. I'm also using Project Life cards, so this is pretty exciting. So as you will have seen for my intro video on my Scrapbook Roulette this month, and I'll link it down below if you haven't seen it, Claire from Scrappy Nerd UK also did a video using these 5 items, and yeah, we collabed this month, which is pretty cool. So I did talk about that in my intro video, but I just want to talk about it a bit now as well, and say a massive thank you to Claire for collaborating. She has her version of Scrapbook Roulette, and she calls it Stash Roulette. Obviously she came up with it first, so kudos to her because it's a great idea. And yeah, so she uses 5 items from her stash in her layouts. I think she uses hers for 1 layout, we use ours for a month, but you know, it's the same but just slightly different. And yeah, I'm super excited that she's come on board this month and been keen to work with us. So she's really awesome, she's lovely, her layout was amazing, and I will link it down below because she did such a good job. So back to the layout. I did some stamping with Versamark and embossing powder. This is a copper embossing powder from Stampin' Up, and I just sort of did it down the side. It's not perfect, but that's actually fine because pretty much all of it gets covered up anyway. And these are some dies. I use my Big Shot and the squiggly die. I don't know what you would call that, but anyway, with paper from the open book collection to cut out those 3 dies. And then I decided to use Project Life cards in a layering, you know, for layering. So I don't know why I have never thought to do this before, because I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm going to do it again because really they're the perfect size for layering, and I love layering. And yeah, I have no idea why this thought had not occurred to me. I'm sure other people do it, I'm sure they do it all the time, but I was like, holy cow. I did decide, however, that I did want my corners rounded on my photo because these are Becky Higgins Project Life cards. The corners are rounded, and I could have cut down the Project Life cards so that they were square, but I didn't want to do that. And so the simpler thing for me was to round the corner of my photo, and I liked that actually. I think I might do that again. So I'm just layering up. I don't remember which collection these are from, but I feel like it's a relatively recent one. I did get a core kit, so I have a lot of cards, but I shared them with my mum and my sister, so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, just layering them up and then working out how I want these squiggles. It's late at night. I don't know what to call these. But anyway, I'm just working out how I want them to peek out from behind the photo, and it took me a while as I was sort of putting the layers together of Project Life cards. I was thinking to myself, how on earth am I going to stick these die cuts down to the page, because they're really fine, they're really fiddly, and I don't have a nice fine tip glue pen. I do have the Stampin' Up glue pen, which is quite fine, but I don't love the glue that's in that, so I didn't want to use that. And then I figured that I should just stick them with double-sided tape to the back of this and then stick that to my page, like so. So the some of the die cuts aren't stuck down and they are raised a bit, but I figure once they go into the page protector, you're not going to notice. So I pulled over my Raskog, which has all of my alphas in it. I don't have heaps, but I have enough, and I decided to go with this black sparkly alpha. I don't know where it's from, sorry, I could find out, but first world problems, I just painted my nails and I can't go digging through my alphas because I don't want to wreck them. So shout out if you're also a nail painter, because I have to let them dry. It took me a while to make sure that I had the right letters, and enough of them to spell out my title, which is very original. It says my first car. But it is what it is. And I like these stickers. I haven't used them that much, but I quite like the sparkle, the black sparkle. They're a foam thicker, and yeah, with a silver glitter, and I think it's pretty cute. I also stuck a couple of the little flowers, that sort of starbursty, flowery type things that also came on the thickers or with the thicker set. I stuck them down as well. And then I grabbed some of these Project Life cards and I'm fussy cutting out a couple of the cars that were on the cards, as well as a couple of these cameras. So that's something else you can do with Project Life cards. I know Claire did a similar thing in her layout where she fussy cut some of the Project Life cards as I'm doing, because often they have some really cute details on them that when you fussy cut make super cute embellishments. So don't let yourself be limited by your Project Life cards. If you're like me and you have thousands of them, it's nice to be able to think of alternative ways to use them. And I'm really pleased with how this layout came together, and as I said, I am definitely going to layer with Project Life cards again, because yeah, it was easy. So fussy cutting out these cars, and then I'm going to sort of try and figure out how I want them to go on my layout. So I do fiddle and faff around a bit and figure out, I do decide the smaller car goes better in that sort of bottom left embellishment cluster there, and I'm just deciding that I'll pop that up on some foam dots, the car. So I stuck the camera down and then stuck the car down, and then I thought, you know what, I've got these massive tubs of resin flowers and I never use them, so I'm using them. So I pulled out sort of a minty colour and a black. First of all, I used that Stampin' Up! Glue that I was telling you about, and it didn't stick down the resin flower. Well, it probably would have, but I was impatient and it didn't do it quick enough for me, so then I switched to my Tombow glue. So I put that down, and because I'd already had the other glue on the back of it, it kind of slipped and slid around for a bit, but it did stick. And then I stick with the Tombow for the rest of them. So put a black one and like a sort of minty colour, and then I'm just working on my embellishment cluster in the top right, which is pretty much mirroring exactly what I did in the bottom left. And that is a camera and a car, slightly bigger of both of those, and I'm popping the car up again on foam dots and sort of thinking about what little resin flowers I might want to put. So this time I go with a mint one again and a white, even though I try a couple of different ones, but I do stick with a mint and a white, and I glue those down. And there's not much more that I do to this layout actually. Clearing things up a bit, just seeing what else. I think I go from, tiny words. You can't have a layout without tiny words. So what do these ones say? That one says, keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. And today is full of possibilities. And then I think I put, that one says, adventure awaits you, which I thought was appropriate with a car. And then I thought I'd put some of the black ones on, and that one says, be amazed. And I don't know, what else am I going with? That one says, be in love with your life. And that one says, always take the scenic route. Again, car. And now I'm deciding that I will sprinkle a little bit of mists on. So this first one is one that I haven't actually used before, and I think a friend gave this to me. It is the Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist chalkboard in Alaskan Salmon, which is basically a really nice kind of pinky orange colour, and I hadn't used it before and it was lovely. I'm definitely going to use that again. And then I used a navy and a teal in the Becky Higgins, no, not Becky Higgins, Heidi Swap Colour Shine. So I'm going to slow the video down now and show you some close-ups because that is it for my layout. Really happy with how this came together and glad I used some of my Scrapbook Roulette items. So go and check out Claire's video from Scrappy Nerd UK. I will link that down the bottom. I hope you've had a wonderful night, day, you know, whenever you're watching, morning, afternoon, who knows. I hope you're having a great day and we will see you in the next video. Okay guys, bye!